I don't want any.
Oh, I don't have anything to sell, ma'am. I'm from the telephone company. I just came to put in your green phone.
Oh, well, from the way you rang the bell and banged on the door, I thought you were a peddler.
Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. I didn't think you heard me.
I heard you. I just couldn't answer at the moment. By the way, I've got a bone to pick with your company.
Oh?
Yes, this thing about a deposit. Do you know they wouldn't do a thing until I put up a deposit?
Yeah, I know, ma'am.
Well, why do they need a deposit? Do they think I'm going to skip town or something? Back in Louisville, where we came from, they just came out, put in the phone, and that's all there was to it. Does everyone have to put up a deposit?
Oh, I wouldn't know, Miss Talbot. That's not in my department. It has something to do with bill-paying records, I think.
You mean we don't pay our bills promptly? Who said so?
No, ma'am, I didn't mean that. I just meant that I don't know about those things, that's all. There's a lot of deadbeats, you know.
Deadbeats? Well, how dare
Miss
you?
Talbot, you know the green color that you picked here? It's very stylish this year. All of the fashionable houses here in the neighborhood have them. Very stylish.
Oh, are they? Well, I like green. It's my favorite color. My husband says my eyes are green sometimes.
I bet.
Now, let me see. Where would be the best place for it? The people who lived here before had it over here, but I think this would be the best place for it, don't you?
Well, whatever you think, Miss Talbot.
Well, put it right here. That'll be fine.
Yes, ma'am.
Lucy, you home?
Come on in, Dorothy. I'll get the coffee started.
Come on over for a minute, Lucy. I want to show you something.
Oh, I guess I'd better not.
Oh, just take a second. I want you to see some new plants.
Well, I've got the telephone man here. I'll have to get right back.
They always want it someplace else. Yeah, and always where there's a concrete floor. Well, looks like there's just no good way to do this one.
Like that.
You told me you wanted the phone here.
Well, I know, but that wire, it just looks awful. Couldn't you put it under the floor or something?
Miss Talbot, the floor is solid concrete, ma'am. You need a jackhammer to do that.
Well, why didn't you tell her?
Yes, if you had told me that, I'd have told you to put it over there where the other people had it.
Well, ma'am, you're the boss. I'll put it anywhere you want.
No, leave it as it is now. The damage is already done.
Oh, he'd probably charge you for changing it. Why does the telephone company charge like that for every little thing they can get away with? Why, one time you charged for putting in a phone when one was already there.
Ma'am, we only charge for the work we do.
You ought to see my bills. Last October, there were 2 long-distance calls to Seattle. If I hadn't been watching you people every single minute. Why don't you be more careful down there?
You know, it's just possible somebody else might be using your telephone.
Oh, that's right. Blame it on somebody else. The customer is always wrong.
Yes, and why does it take so long to get listed with information so people can call us?
Well, I don't know, ma'am.
I bet if you kept after them, they'd get it done a lot faster.
Yes, I know.
You know, it just takes a certain amount of time, Miss Talbot, to service these orders. And getting huffy isn't going to help anybody.
Huffy? Young man, we've had just about all the insolence from you we intend to take. Well, finish your job and pack your stuff and just get out of here right now.
Like we said, Jim sometimes gets into tough situations, and sometimes, by accident, he still puts his foot into his mouth. here again is our hero, Jim Cannon. Now, most of you have met Jim before. He's actually a very decent sort of fellow with a deep respect for his fellow man. It's a pity most of his contacts happen to be with his fellow woman.
Yes?
I'm from the telephone company, ma'am.
Oh, of course.
I came to put in your prince's phone.
That's wonderful. I never expected such quick service. Please forgive the way things look, but we've just moved in. And you know, you come just in time.
We try to keep our appointments, Miss Burns.
Well, I wasn't referring to your appointment. I meant this big box.
Oh, what about it?
Well, it's a chandelier. Would you help me lift it out of the box?
Oh, no, I'm afraid they won't let me.
Who won't let you?
The telephone company, ma'am. They're very strict about that. I can't do any outside work.
Come on. It would just take a minute. Besides, who'd make up such a silly rule?
Well, I don't know who makes the rules, ma'am. They just say no outside work. I have to install the phone, that's all.
You know, your company has lots of funny rules. Why, just the other day, I tried to get the address of a friend of mine, and all they give me was her telephone number.
Well, I wouldn't know about that, ma'am. I just came to install the phone, and I've got to put in a drop wire.
Drop what?
A drop wire, ma'am. It's from the pole to the house. Now, I don't make up the rules. I just try to obey them, ma'am. Where would you like to have the telephone?
Over in the corner. Oh, anywhere.
Uh-oh. A tree. I guess I better drop low, and I gotta take off that branch.
Look what you've done. You've cut off the lower branch of that tree. And it's one of the very reasons we bought this house. We liked the tree.
I'm sorry, ma'am, but it was in the way.
Well, I was here all the time. You could have at least asked me or strung your full wire somewhere else.
No, Miss Burns, it's not going to hurt anything. The tree needed pruning anyway.
Just wait. You just wait until my husband gets home. He'll go straight to the top man at your telephone company and give him a piece of his mind that won't be forgotten. Hey, you up there.
Who, me?
Yes.
What can I do for you, lady?
Are you working on my phone?
No, ma'am. Lady's over there. They just moved in.
Yeah, I know. Is she going to be on my line?
No, ma'am. She has a straight line.
Well, how do you like that? Some buttercup moves in here and bats her eyelashes at the people down at the telephone company, and boom, a private line. I've been waiting 6 months. I still got a party line.
Have you called the business office, ma'am?
Did I talk to the business office 50,000 times? And what did I get? I'll tell you what I got. 50,000 times I got, sorry, lady, like one of them recorded announcements.
Sorry, lady.
See, there you go. Sorry, lady. Look, while you're up there, can you connect me to... Oh, I'm no movie queen, but I ought to get some consideration for being an old customer.
I'm sorry, ma'am.
Okay, here goes call number 50,001.
The legs belong to Jim Cannon, installer. They come in handy when he climbs poles and getting him to the places where he does his work. The hands also belong to Jim Cannon. He uses them to bring the miracle of telephone communication into people's homes. And this is Jim Cannon's mouth. He uses it to whistle, to eat, and sometimes try as he might to avoid it, to get into trouble.
Miss Fuller, I'm from the telephone company.
So I see. I've been waiting since yesterday morning for you to show up. Well, come in.
Well, what happened to you yesterday? They told me you'd be out first thing.
Well, I don't know what happened yesterday, ma'am. I only got the order this morning. Maybe the fellow they put on it yesterday got something bigger and he just couldn't make it.
Well, that's the telephone company for you every time. Take care of the big customers and let the little ones wait. Well, you think they'd at least call a customer who's sitting around waiting for the installer to get here?
Well, I'm here now, Miss Fuller. Where would you like me to put the extension?
Well, didn't they tell you that either? I went into great detail with the lady down there. I told her how I saw in a home magazine where they were installing telephones in California in the kitchen near the sink. And we recently had the kitchen remodeled, and I had the contractor put an outlet there for you.
Well, I'm sorry, ma'am. We can't put the phone there. It's against the rules.
Against the rules?
That's right. Might get wet.
Well, I'm not going to put it in the sink, just alongside it.
Well, I know, but it could fall in the sink or it could get wet with the spray hose. If it works.
Well, you have to pull the handle.
Oh. Sorry, ma'am. I'm sorry. I didn't...
Never mind that now. Look, if I can't have the telephone where I want it in my own house, where would the telephone company like to have it?
Well, we could put a blue set over there on the wall, ma'am. It'd look awful warm.
Oh, well, if I can't have it by the sink, I guess that's about all I can do. Oh, well, maybe blue would look all right. Well, we'll just try it there and see.
I'll go out and truck and see if I've got one. I'll be right back. Boy. It was kind of funny, though. Yeah, this isn't going to be. What's she going to say when I tell her I don't have a blue wall set with me? And she's got a tongue like an ice pick. Now remember, Cannon, hang on to the temper. Talk sweet. Well, here goes nothing. I'm sorry, Miss Fuller. I didn't have any blue ones in the truck, but I brought a couple in here for you to see. They're our most popular colors, too. You know, these new Lord Dunsmore estates, all the fashionable ladies are putting up these red ones there. Don't you think it does something for the kitchen?
Young man, when I need an interior decorator, I won't call the telephone company. Now, I said I wanted a blue phone in this kitchen, and I intend to have a blue phone. Now, just whom do I call to get it?
Well, I'll call the storeroom, ma'am. Maybe they've got one down there. Oh, Bob? Cannon. Listen, you got a blue wall set down there. I got an old gal out here that's got her mind made up on a blue wall set. Huh? No. They don't come in blue? Oh, that's peachy. Wait till I tell her that. Miss Fuller, Western doesn't make a wall set in blue.
Who doesn't make them?
Western Electric, they make the sets we buy. They don't make them in blue.
Why?
Oh, I don't know, Miss Fuller. They just don't make them in blue. Now, that red one or that yellow one look real nice in there in the kitchen.
Now, let me tell you something, young man. I don't want a red telephone, and I don't want a yellow telephone. And as far as I'm concerned, you can just forget about the whole thing.
As we said, these legs are useful for climbing poles. And when there's no other answer, for getting him away from trouble quickly. chapter of the further adventures of Jim Cannon finds our hero in a very pleasant mood. The cause for his glowing good nature is simple. He's had no trouble today. He's made 2 sales, and here it is, 4 in the afternoon.
Mighty nice home you have here, Miss Nancy.
Well, thank you. Would you like a cup of coffee?
No, thank you, ma'am. I'll be through here in just a minute. Oh, wait a minute. I'll clean up. It'll be slick as a whistle. I'll just call the office, and then I'll be right out of your way.
Yes.
This is Cannon. I'm at 6223 Woodlawn Drive. I just finished the Princess FR1 installation.
Color Princess.
Yep, it's beige. Order's okay, as written.
Okay, I've got it. Where are you going next?
That's my last call. Got anything else for me?
Let me check. Yeah, I've got a trouble report on 4734 Ellsworth Lane. That's just a few blocks from you. Why don't you pick that up before you come in? It rings with the other party and we can't seem to fix it. And watch out, she's really mad.
No, I'll get it. Okay. That about does it, Miss Nancy. I know you're going to like your Princess phone.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Another successful call by Jim Cannon, personality installer. His next call is about Mrs. Robert on Ellsworth Lane. Now, let's see how well this one works out.
Hello, Miss,
Robert, come in.
Thank you. I understand there's something wrong with your phone. What seems to be the matter?
What is the matter? Do I have to go all through that again?
Well, I guess so, ma'am.
You're only the 3rd man who's been out here. First, there was a man who came out when the phone started buzzing in my ear every time I used it. I couldn't hear a thing, but he couldn't fix it. So he called his supervisor. He spent a whole morning out here. He said he fixed it.
He didn't fix it?
I had to explain all that to the girl down at your office, too. Don't you people keep records?
Well, I guess not on things like that, ma'am.
I don't understand why I have to go over and over and over everything.
Your phone's ringing now.
Yes. Listen to it.
It's not loud enough?
No, that isn't it. It rings and rings and rings. Pick it up and see what I mean. Go on.
Hello? No, that's the telephone man. All right, it's loud stuff, all right. No, ma'am, not you. There's trouble on the line. Now, if you'd hang up and call back, in just a minute I'll have it fixed. All right, thank you. You're on a party line?
Of course I have a party line. Don't you people know anything?
Well, I was just trying to find out what the matter was.
How many times do I have to go through this before you people believe that something is wrong?
Miss Roberts, I believe something's wrong. I just wanted to find out what happened when you picked the phone up, that's all. I could get through a lot faster if we just stay nice and calm.
Don't tell me to stay calm.
All right, ma'am. I'll fix it myself. I was just trying to save some time.
You're being impudent, young man, and I don't like it. Not one bit I don't. And I'm not going to let the rest here either, believe me. I'm sick and tired of the attitude of you people from the telephone company. I'll bet your boss doesn't know how you talk to people. I'm going to let him know how I'm being treated.
Well, that's your privilege, ma'am. It's a free country. While you were talking, I fixed your phone. I've gotten so excited I could have done it quicker.
There you go again. You haven't heard the last from me. I'm going to go higher up with this.
Go as high as you want to.
Who would guess that smiling Jim Cannon's perfect day could so quickly come to a tragic end?